viewer comments.
This is one of my favorite parts of doing a show is I get to read your guys' comments because they're just, you never know where they're going to come from, what kind of angle, how funny they're going to be. And it's always just great just listening to what you guys have to say. So here's a couple that we got to touch on.
Yeah, I like this first one from Jerry P6. This was in reference to your Overstreet Advisor essay that you shared with the community like 5 months ahead of time because they're watching our show.
Yeah, Jerry said, "You bet Black Label has helped. Naively bid $2,500 for a Black Label Brave and the Bold 28 4.0, which is the first appearance of Justice League." Okay, and that would normally be a $3,000 book, he explains. But fair market value is around $2,900. The winning bid was nearly $4,000 without buyer's premium.
All right, Black Label. We're talking about the change CGC made to their pedigree graded comics. And he's saying that it has made a change for some prices because this is at $1,000 more than it should have been. Because right now on eBay, you can get a Brave and the Bold 28 at that grade for $2,800.
And this guy's taking offers too. So
possibly less.
Possibly less, exactly. So we are seeing this Black Label making a difference. And labels have to do that, apparently. Labels are the only way we can recognize what's happening. Restoration, purple labels, conservations, qualifications, blue labels. Right. Now you got this black tuxedo-like label for pedigrees. So that really is a great way for us to distinguish what is happening with a book and what kind of value we should put on it.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep tracking this pedigree market because I think up until this past year, it was kind of not the like highest booming thing in the comic book community. Like it wasn't the thing that people were excited about, that they were investing an inflated amount in, largely because, well, they didn't really know the history of a lot of the pedigrees. Now that that's emerging and now there's a label attached to it, yeah, the inflation's coming. And as Jerry has mentioned, it's affecting even his comic book purchases.
And I think this label can get better, to be honest. I think it needs to be a little sexier right now because it's kind of...
It's a little plain.
It's a little plain. It is. I think they need to improve this label still. And I can't. One of these days, it's just going to pop just right.
All right, the next comment we got to discuss is about the number one comic that we put on the top 10 list for this past Friday, as well as the pick for the 2019 comics that came out that we're most excited about, that we thought had legs going into 2020. And we're talking about the Walmart Detective Comics 80th anniversary Walmart exclusive that has people hitting Walmart in troves trying to find it and putting it on eBay, and it's exceeding $100 now. So this comment is from Key Collector because he pointed out something that I knew in the video, but I didn't realize the extent of the effect on the market that this fact would have. This is what Key Collector wrote. Regarding the Walmart exclusive, the Batman reprint is an uncensored exact reprint of the original, whereas a lot of the reprints were redrawn to omit a murder victim with a knife in his back. So this had me all excited, and I hit you up and said, dude, pull out a Detective Comics 27 reprint. We have to see what is being discussed here.
And I heard what you said, so... The Detective 27 comics in my collection I didn't bring because you wanted only the reprints.
Yeah, so keep the original at home.
I left the 3 of those at home. But I did have a DC Archives Batman, okay, that had the first Detective Comics 27 was in it. And sure enough, there was no knife in this guy's back. So
the first couple pages, there's a murder scene, and there's a gentleman laying on the ground, and there's a knife in his back in the original comic. But in this, like, $40 MSRP reprinting of a bunch of Batman stories, and the one you brought, sure enough, there's no knife in his back. So then I started searching online. I wanted to see the Millennium Edition. I couldn't find a picture of it with a knife in his back. So now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got to go through more reprints of this dang issue to see if there are any of them that are uncensored. We have members of the community who are saying that this Walmart exclusive may be the only true uncensored version of a reprint of Detective Comics 27, the first appearance of Batman. This is crazy.
It could be true. It could not be true. I have not flipped through all the reprints. And even if I did, I wouldn't have been looking for this panel.
Dude, I went online. I tried to find anything about this. I tried to find people who had wrote blogs about it. I looked up in the CGC forums. I mean, I figured it's such a major thing, you know? It's a censored panel. It was redrawn. This is something that collectors must know about. Couldn't find anything. So if you have a Detective Comics 27 reprint, not the Walmart one, because we know the Walmart one is uncensored, I want to know in the comment section below, is yours edited? We only had a couple days to prep for this section. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I'm talking more a comic format, not like that oversized like they did of the kind of more magazine size, but just in comic format. Let us know, man. Comment down below or shoot us a message. I'd love to hear which book that is or which version.
Yeah, because if we can confirm that this is something that's been going past collectors' eyes, like just unbeknownst to them for decades, this could be groundbreaking news, and it could add even more to the craze that is behind this low print Walmart edition.
This next comment is from Life of Agony. Thank you, by the way, for commenting. We appreciate it because this actually touches on some of our error issues. He talks about Winter Soldier #1 and explains why it holds its value as it does. Okay, there are 12 pages in this book from Venom #9, and it was released simultaneously, and is the first full appearance of Dylan Brock.
So there's like an added key reason to own this error print copy. How interesting. I didn't think to check which comic was inserted, like specifically what number. And I think at the time that this was introduced, I mean, the full appearance versus the real first appearance back in issue 7, that was still trying to be worked out in the community. Didn't think to check that issue 9 actually has pages in this book showing the first full appearance of Dylan, who now is a major spec character. How exciting.
It's great. You have an error book, and it's now a key.
Thank you so much for leaving that comment. And the next comment is from Unruly Simeon in reference to comic book stocks that are coming on the market. This is what he had said about this idea about purchasing parts of a comic book. Sincerely glad to see the vast majority of people commenting see this for the BS it most absolutely is. That comment section was rough.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we reported on a company named Otis, kind of an investment group, and they had Hulk 181 9.8 CGC, and they were selling shares of it. And you can buy shares of other pop culture collectibles, but for this Hulk 181, they had 1,000 shares at $35 a piece, and it sold out. 173 people bought all 1,000 shares.
That's right. It's like an average 5 to 6 shares a person. So pretty interesting to see this happening, because this is like the first time in really in the last decade that you're seeing a company actually try to make comic book investing like a stock option, similar to like your 401k.
And to be honest, like for me, I like the concept. I really, really do. I am a long ways away from believing in it and trusting it.
Yeah, this isn't like Marvel Comics putting on an investment opportunity for you. This is a company that I've never heard of until they did this.
Yeah, obviously there's going to be fears of regulations and how things are monitored. And really, I hope comics get to that point where they're actually comfortable traded in the market, like in a stock market type format. I mean, could you imagine like for them to get to that point? That'd be amazing. But they're not there yet. And I would like to see it. I really would. I think I might buy into something one day if that was an option. I felt that comfortable.
You probably would do it. You like the ideas, because the community was definitely split. I would say at least half were like, I don't want anything to do with this. I do like Mark Arnie's comment, though. He says, sell hundreds of shares of one comic book? Why not? People buy water. It's just true. People do buy bottled water. But what I want to like press this point, because I think the gut response for a lot of the community was, oh, I don't want to buy a key issue and not own it. I don't want to not be able to have it in hand. And I just want to remind everybody, this isn't for your standard $1,000 comic. This isn't for your standard $10,000 comic. This is for books that you wouldn't own otherwise. That's how they're trying to sell this. Hulk 181 at 9.8. Yeah, it's not going to be in a lot of people's collections. I have a feeling that it's going to get higher valued comics. More and more and more are going to hit the market. And that's what is exciting to me, is the potential of owning grails that you would never be able to see. And honestly, you probably wouldn't actually want in person. Too expensive. too much risk.
That risk point is interesting. I haven't really thought about that because once you have it in hand, you also have to now protect it,
Right.
own it, be responsible for it.
Put it in a bank vault, buy a vault that is flame and waterproof. Like, we're talking books that are so expensive. There's a reason why people have bank accounts. So thank you for the comments, Comic Fam. Would you reconsider this if there were more expensive books? I mean, Hulk 181, maybe that's not enough. Maybe they need to hit $100,000 book. Would that change your mind? I'm curious. Let us know in the comment section below.